Ladies and gentlemen, you are now tuned into Jaja's Mic. If this is your first time joining me, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It's right here. Don't miss out. I'm a firm believer that your life will be changed. Ladies and gentlemen, I got it. I've been waiting for this one. I wanna scream, I wanna shout, because if you're watching this video today, you're gonna be motivated, you're gonna be excited, you're gonna feel a sense of hope. You're gonna feel a soulful spiritual transformation, because I've been called to talk to you today specifically about criticism. Criticism is gonna be short but potent. I want you to understand the ideology, if you will, that comes from the end in mind. And ladies and gentlemen, when I talk about the end in mind, I'm talking about death, right? Because when an individual passes away, at that point in which the soul and the spirit of God has lifted from the flesh, the body, this vessel in which we hold, you cannot hear criticism. The individual who passes away cannot hear the critiques. So, in the form of life, the living, the breath that we take each and every day, why is it that we tend to be such slaves to criticism? There's so much gifts that we have right now, but because we're slaves to criticism, criticism has shackled our hands, has shackled our movements, it just shackled it. We stumble on even the thought of moving forward, right? I want you to understand this concept of criticism. It's like the same embodiment of the relationship of fear. It does not exist. Criticism only has value when you give it value. For example, ladies and gentlemen, these videos that I shoot, if you know me, I do gallery style portraits and photography, right? Headshots and portraits. It's a drive, it's a passion of mine to reveal the confidence and the beauty that I see in each and every one of you. That's my passion. When I talk to you, I just see a different individual. It's my true third-person perspective on anybody that I shoot, that I do photography for, right? But let me tell you something. Long ago, I used to be a pharmacy major. I'm Nigerian, so I always grew up around a household of people in the medical industry. For me, I knew at a certain point in time that pharmacy was not going to be my passion. Now, granted, pharmacists help out many individuals, but I knew that this was not going to be the way that I do it, right? We're all blessed with many gifts. But let me tell you something about this. My path started to change as I started to love media production. I started to love creation. I started to love to create art, to create stories. I started to love to take pictures, right? I love to edit, making something of an artistic value that brings a benefit to somebody else, whether it's feelings, emotions, accomplishments. Now, even though Galleries by Jaja is the company that I created through an idea, it was my idea. God gave me the gift, the conviction to want to pursue that. He gave it to me. But here, ladies and gentlemen, here's the problem. Here's the shackles. Here's the on the feet. My parents did not accept it. My parents did not accept the fact that I did not want to do pharmacy. Do you know how hard it is to take disapproval from loved ones? That is the most potent way to not do something you're called to do. Family members, loved ones, people who are not given the vision, people who are not given the conviction, people who are not given the drive. So you gotta look at it from a different perspective. Where is the criticism really coming from, right? It's not for you to have to explain yourself to each and every individual or ask for approval from anybody else but God. Because when you start to ask for too much approval, when you start to ask for too much opinions, these ideologies that weren't given that spirit to do what you're trying to do right now are not going to be on the same page. Unless you're with like-minded individuals, but that's another conversation. I'm talking about the criticism that's stopping you from doing what you want to do right now. It has you in shackles right now. It's a mentality that you must know what it is, write it down on a sheet of paper, crumble it up, and launch it. Stop worrying about criticism. You are not going to feel your greatest sense of purpose, your greatest sense of satisfaction if you're listening to another individual's criticism. The word tells you to fear God, not man. So regardless of mother, father, relationships, wife, husband, boss, grandparents, fear God, not man. So for you to have fear of your purpose and your drive that God has given you, oh, you're fearing man right now. But if you decide to go towards God's route, if you decide to, I don't fear anybody, I don't feel criticism, God is telling me to do this, I'm going to do this till the death of me, oh, you start to feel purposeful. You start to feel that conviction. You start to feel that passion. You start to feel that drive. You waking up 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. You running 15 miles. You writing that paper. You start writing that book. You start writing those songs. You start going to school on time. You stop going to work late. You stop making excuses for not working out. You stop making excuses and you start doing. That is the difference from living God's purpose or fearing man. Fearing criticism, fearing the critiques. You are meant to be phenomenal. You are meant to be great. If you're watching this today, one thing I know about you, you're a phenomenal individual. God has blessed you with ideologies that man can't comprehend, that you can't even see the end goal towards this. Your dreams and your ambition that God has given you is so scary. You do not want to talk about it with too many individuals. But I'm here today to tell you that that purpose never manifests. It will never exist if you do not decide today to stop letting criticism, the ideologies of flesh, the fear of men, guide you when they don't know how to guide themselves. Without God, I would not be able to guide myself. I would be weak. I'd be struggling. I'd be listening to everybody's opinion, trying to form out my route. Those days are over. When God gives me a hunch, when he gives me an idea, I go out and create. I go out and make it happen. That's the difference. That's the difference. You need to go out and create everything that you are meant to create. Then you will start to feel a sense of purpose. It was unfortunate. I had to go to a close funeral of a close friend of mine. this past weekend. And as I sat there at the funeral, all I can think about was how phenomenal this individual was, how persistent and consistent this individual was, how loving this individual was. For him to die so soon at 22 years old, it's one of those things that you just, there's no words that can put it into an explanation. So it's like the spirit of this young individual will always be with me, and it'll always be with you, those of you who know who I'm talking about. But we must use that as fuel to continue to go forward. We are all inevitably going to die. And if we allow criticism to stop us, we will never change somebody else's life. We will never go towards God's purpose. So today, ladies and gentlemen, I challenge you this month to start. I'm not asking you to do nothing else, but I'm challenging you today, this month, just start. Plant the seed and start watering it. You know how you water the seed? The process. The longer you water it, the longer you care for that seed. So ladies and gentlemen, today, just please push yourself and start. Just start. Because had I never begun, had I never started, I wouldn't be able to reach out to you all, right? I wouldn't be able to reach out the way I do. I wouldn't be able to have helped the individuals who have come to me for help. It would not exist. I would not have a life of purpose. I want you to have a life of purpose. You know what you want to do. Don't wait any longer. Don't wait any longer. Decide that today, this month, this week, after this video, I'm going to start living a life that God has told me to go towards. I'm a firm believer. If you make that one decision, if you make that one decision, I'm a firm believer that your life will be changed. So ladies and gentlemen, do not let criticism hold you back. I'm gonna see you next week. We out.